the state. He is also pending a surgical matter. I have spoken with ASA Sharpless, and she did not have any objection to continuing this to the 8/12 pretrial so that we can work on those matters.
Your Honor, that's correct. No objection.
Very good. The court will continue this until 8/12, August 12th at 9 o'clock.
The next case, Judge, is Robert Bolton in 23 CF 2153. I do have a written plea in absentia to a misdemeanor, if I may approach.
You may. Thank you. And obviously, the state is in agreement. You've signed? Okay. Okay. Court will accept the misdemeanor plea agreement.
And Judge, the last case is Lindsay Dugas in 24 CF 489. Ms. Dugas is present and approaches. And if the court would give us just a moment, this is a case that ASA Sharpless is covering for Ms. Salsa. And Judge, this is going to be pretrial intervention through a plea. If I may approach with the plea, Judge.
You may. Thank you.
And we do have an executed pretrial intervention agreement that Ms. Dugas will take with her to the probation office to check in after this morning. But she would be withdrawing her previously entered not guilty plea in 24 CF 489. She would be entering a deferred sentence to complete the pretrial intervention agreement. Those terms are 12-month term, $667 in court cost, $150 cost of prosecution, $40 per month cost of supervision. She'll attend and show proof of a parenting course and an anger management course, comply with all DCF or FFN case plan if applicable, have no corporal punishment, no violent contact with SRD. There is no early termination. She does have a cash bond that would be applied to any of these costs, and Ms. Dugas understands that if she fails to complete the pretrial intervention program, that she will immediately move to sentencing before Your Honor.
State.
That's correct, Your Honor. That was the agreement.
Okay. Ms. Dugas, would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
So this is similar to a couple of the cases we've handled this morning. This is kind of a hybrid between a traditional pretrial intervention, where you normally on a pretrial intervention, if you fail, it comes back and you kind of start over. This is, you don't come back and start over. You kind of come back and you go right to sentencing, okay? So it's very good for you because obviously your case is dismissed, but it kind of puts more pressure on you because if you don't get to fully participate in the process. You go right to sentencing. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're waiving the right to go to any kind of a trial and argue that this didn't happen or whatever. Those are valuable legal rights that you're waiving in order to get to this point. You believe that's in your best interest, and you're doing so freely and voluntarily? And importantly, you've gone over this with your attorney, made sure you had all your legal questions answered, and had what I'm explaining to you explained to you in more detail, and you could ask questions and whatnot?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Based upon that, the court will accept your plea agreement, and it'll be a plea to the court with a deferred sentence, and give you the opportunity to complete a pretrial intervention. If it does, you do complete it, you'll withdraw the plea and the case will be dismissed. And if you don't complete the PTI, it'll go directly to sentencing. Okay? Okay. Good luck, man.
Thank you, Judge. That was all I had this morning.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Updike.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Quentin Brown, 24 CF 747.
On your sign-in, you said it's under Miss Izzo's name?
It may be under Mrs. O, Your Honor, yes. I did file a notice of appearance, but it seems to be stuck in her
Okay,
name.
there's none under Miss Izzo, so let me see if it's under yours.
It is, Your Honor. It's number 24 on the docket, on page 9 of the document.
Very good. Go ahead, Mr. Updike.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Is
We're
the name
waiting
made?
for Mr. Brown.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is Quentin Brown, 24 CF 747. Your Honor, we're asking for a full cycle continuance to the next pre-trial conference. We were hoping for a plea today, Your Honor. We were waiting on some witness statement and documents. We just provided that to the state this morning in reciprocal discovery, but I do think that we just need some time to work out the terms of a plea.
State.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Very good. Court will continue this matter until the 14th of August, 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Mr. Garrett.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Your Honor, Chris Gerard on behalf of Brian Buchanan, case
Would
number...
you do me a favor and pull that mic? Just, these are so directional.
Yes, Your
They
Honor.
don't work very good now. Go ahead.
Chris Gerard on behalf of Brian Buchanan, 23 CF 1078. I have a signed written plea agreement here to two amended charges of disorderly conduct, if I may approach.
Is this misdemeanor?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you. Misdemeanor counts of conduct. Okay. State, obviously in agreement with that?
Yes, Your Honor, that was the state's agreement.
I've never seen a misdemeanor plea form that didn't have a place for the judge to sign.
I thought there was a third page, Your Honor. Is there?
There's a third page, but it doesn't have any signature line on it.
There should be.
Am I missing something? You want to look at it? Maybe I'm missing something. Help me out
Did they
here.
get out of order?
I'll sign it at the bottom. It's not the end of the world if you don't have a signature line, but I just never, want to make sure we're not missing a page or a paragraph or something.
I thought it was.
I don't know.
So I'm not losing it, huh?
No, Your Honor.
Just, as long as there's not a paragraph missing, I'll sign at the bottom and I'll just create my own signature line. It's
Thank
not-
you, Your Honor. I'm
Not the end of the world here.
Not sure what's going on there. Figure that out. May I approach?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't just disappear off a form, I don't know. Okay. Okay, and the state did say they're in agreement.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
That's really weird.
Very good. Court will accept the misdemeanor plea agreement.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Mr. Buchanan's phone number is attached. Is a sticky note there. Does he need to reach out to JCS, or is that sufficient for JCS to reach out to him? Or I can just,
I don't know.
okay, I'll contact him to JCS's information. Yeah. Oh, no, sure. Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
That's all you got. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Niddle?
My client may be talking to Miss Dudley in the back at this point, I'm not sure.
Okay, you want to skip over? We'll skip over yours.
Okay.
Okay, we'll come and just wave at me when he's up. Ms. Graham?
Good morning, Your
Good
Honor.
morning, Ms. Graham.
Tricia Graham, on behalf of Jennifer Hall, in case 23 CF 1218. There is a waiver on file, Your Honor. May we approach?
You may. Based on conversation with counsel, the court will continue this matter until August 12th at 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor. And next I have Christopher Rogers on two cases, 23 CF 2466 and 23 CF 2116. It's set for a plea or continue, and there is a waiver on file, Your Honor. We are in the process of coordinating the second round of depositions in one of the cases with co-defendants. I've spoken with Ms. Sharpless and request to continue the matter one cycle.
Yes, Your Honor, that was what we discussed.
Very good. We'll continue this matter until August 12th at 9 a.m. on both cases.
Is he in jail? Is he in custody? No.
He's not in custody. According to my records,
He's not here, actually.
And that concludes my case.
I think that's all you got. Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
nice day. Mr. Shaw.
Okay.
Good morning, Mr. Shaw.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
First case I have, Judge, is Patrick Sammy Next 23 CF 14. Judge, may we approach on that, please?
You may.
Check out the soaps, bath bombs, and other bath and body products, all made by hand with natural ingredients at Hub City Soapery. Visit us at 1092 North Verdon Boulevard in Crestview or shop online at hubcitysoapery.com. Hub City Soapery.
This is Tiffany Woodham, State Farm's newest agent in Crestview. I'd like to personally invite you to stop by my office for a no-cost policy review. Let me help you start saving today. Call in, walk in, or click in at yourcrestviewagent.com.
Thank you. Based upon the conversation with counsel, the court will continue this matter until 12th of August, 9 a.m.
Judge, the next case I have is Nathaniel Fannon, F-A-N-N-O-N. That is case number 23 CF 1505. Judge, we have a written plea agreement. May I approach?
You may. Thank you. Would you announce the agreement?
Yes, Judge. Again, before the court's Nathaniel Fannon in 23 CF 1505. At this time, Mr. Fannon will withdraw a previously entered plea of not guilty, tender a plea of no contest. As to count one, that would be the amended charge of felony criminal mischief.
Is that a lesser included?
It's not a lesser included, Judge.
Okay.
And that'd be 24 months of probation with early term at 1 year, provided all conditions are met and no violations. Counts 2 and 3 will be no price. Count 4 will be no contest as charged with 12 months probation. If I didn't announce it, adjudication is withheld. 515 court costs, 50 costs of supervision, and a letter of apology to Deputy Sheriff Olinke. That was 100 hours of community service.
So withhold on all charges?
Correct.
Counts 1, 2,
1 and 4, Judge.
1 and 4. 2 and 3 are null pros.
That's correct.
Okay. State?
That's correct, Judge, and I'll file the amended information when I get back to the office.
Very good. Mr. Fannon, would you raise your right hand, sir? Do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you heard your attorney state the terms of your plea agreement. I see those same terms are in your written plea agreement that you've signed. So just want to make sure, have you read this closely?
Yes, sir.
And gone over it in detail with your attorney? Make sure you had all your legal questions answered about this.
Yes, sir.
Because you're waiving some valuable legal rights. I can see there's been some accommodation by the state in order to enter into this agreement, but you're still waiving the right to go to a trial, force the state to prove their case. You believe that's in your best interest to do that?
Yes, sir.
And you've had all your legal questions answered by Mr. Shaw. Make sure you understand exactly what you're doing here today.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and this is being entered freely and voluntarily.
Yes, sir.
Based upon all that, the court will accept your plea agreement, and there'll be a new charge as to count 1. That'll be a felony criminal mischief, and the court is sentencing you to 2 years probation. You will have the right to have early termination at 1 year if there's no violations and you're completed all your requirements. Standard court costs and fees, 100 hours of community service and a letter of apology. Counts 2 and 3 in this charge will be dismissed by the state. Count 4 as charged will be, as charged, both of these counts will be a withhold of adjudication. And the court, as to count 4, will sentence you to 1 year probation, and that will be concurrent with count 1. So that'll be basically a total of 2 years and $50 cost of supervision. Mr. Lasco?
And Your Honor, this is not a downward departure.
Very good. Sure. And you're gonna get me a score sheet?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. So, Mr. Fann, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you do have 30 days to appeal this matter.
Judge, the next case I have is John A. Geiger, 23 CF 695. Mr. Delasco and I have had multiple conversations about this particular case. I know we had talked about continuing it to the August date due to the schedule.
Judge, can we approach?
Sure.
Alex Barthay from the UPS store once again, and I wanted to let you know about our Sunday hours. We're open now 7 days a week. Normal hours that you've been expecting, but now we're open Saturday 10 to 4, Sunday 10 to 3, and it's both our Crestview, Fort Walton Beach, and Eglin Air Force Base locations. So you have things to do, go and do it. Just know the UPS store is going to be here. Again, Sundays 10 until 3 p.m.
For years, I proudly served Florida as a state trooper.
Based on a conversation with counsel, the court will continue this matter until 8/12.
And lastly, Judge, I have John Edmund Holmes. Judge, and that's
You may. Thank you. Would you announce the plea?
Yes, Your Honor. Judge, again, before the court is John Edmund Holmes, 23 CF 454. There is a 3-count information that was filed in this case. At this time, Mr. Holmes would withdraw his previously entered plea of not guilty, tender a plea of no contest. As charged, he would be sentenced, and all three case numbers, or excuse me, all 3 counts would be 36 months probation. I wrote them out individually, but it's all 36 months probation with early term at 50%, provided all conditions are met and there have been no violations. 515 court costs and $50 cost of supervision, adjudications withheld.
Very good. State?
That's correct, Judge, and I'll say for the record that I've spoken with the victims about this and they are in agreement with the plea.
Okay. There's no restitution in this?
Already paid, Judge.
Already paid?
That's
Very
correct,
good.
Judge.
By why we're here, right? Sir, would you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
So you heard your attorney state the terms of your plea agreement. And I see that you have signed the written plea agreement. Just want to make sure you've gone over it in detail with your attorney. Sure you had all your legal questions answered. You understand you're waiving the right to contest all this to go to a final hearing. This will be a final resolution here today.
Yes, sir.
And you believe that's in your best interest?
Yes, sir.
And of course, this is, nobody's twisting your arms entering this voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Based upon that, the court will accept your plea agreement for each of the three counts. The court is sentencing you to 36 months probation. You will have, again, for each of the three counts, and they'll all be concurrent. They'll be in, you'll have the opportunity to have early termination at 50%, so at half the time, provided all conditions are met and there's no violations. You've got 50 court cost and cost of supervision assessed, and there will be, importantly, a withhold of adjudication on all three counts. Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. You do have 30 days to appeal this.
Okay.
Thank you.
Judge. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Shaw. Mr. Patel?
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Patel.
Is Barta Goodman, 24 CF 534. That is a PTI, no plea. All the documentation has been filed.
Very good. Thank you.
Do you need to do a control date or anything like that?
Do we generally do control dates on PTI? Do we need a patrol? 6 months? Do we generally do it 6 months?
Just, no, not that long, just make
The
sure.
way we're doing the PTIs now, and we don't normally do traditional PTIs very often.
We can do next docket day, just for control day.
And it should fall off before then. It's just to make sure that all the paperwork.
Okay.
What's that date?
August 12th.
August 12th.
Okay.
Okay.
Next, Judge Jay Patel on behalf of Kenneth Gerard. He's present or approaching Mr. Gerard. Mr. Gerard is withdrawing his previously entered plea of not guilty and is tendering a plea of no contest. The understanding is that he will be adjudicated guilty as charged in the information. Fines and court costs as required by state and county ordinance, 12 months of probation, 50 hours of community service work that he may buy out. This is an agreed upon downward departure. There's an added condition of 6 months GPS. However, the state is stipulating to credit for time served regarding the GPS monitor, and both the state and my client understand that no further requirement of GPS is required for the 12 months of supervision. May I approach?
State.
That's correct, Judge.
Thank you. So, Mr. Gerard, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
So you heard your attorney state the terms of the plea agreement here today, and I see that those same terms are contained in the written plea agreement that you've signed. My first question is, did you go over this, read this closely and go over it in detail with your attorney?
I did.
And probation, do you have a question, or?
Is this number 19, Mr. Gerard?
This is.
What is he pleading to?
He's pleading as charged.
Okay, that's failing to register.
Correct.
And the sentence is 12 months probation?
Correct. That's what I heard him say.
That's correct, Judge.
Okay, just
Okay. So you heard your attorney state the terms of the plea agreement, and you've gone over it with him. You just want to make sure you've had all your legal questions answered, because there are legal ramifications of this. There is going to be adjudication of guilt on this. It'll be on your record. Obviously, this is probation, but you are waiving the right to go to a trial where you can contest all this and have a full hearing.
Judge, can we pass this case for 1 second? And so I can speak with Mr. Patel.
Sure.
Thank you.
Sorry, Judge.
That's all right. Okay. Mr. Durrell?
Morning, Your Honor.
Morning, Mr. Durrell.
Police Court, Dustin Durrell. Your Honor, my first client is Mr. Matthew Hallshouse. Your Honor, requesting a continuance of Mr. Hallshouse's case. I filed a motion to dismiss based on statute of limitations. I do need to get that set.
We'll come back for a full cycle to 8/12. Just contact my office. Has it already been filed?
It's been filed, yes, sir.
Okay, we'll get you next, Mr. Niddle. Okay.
And next, Your Honor, is Mr. Logan Curtis.
Okay.
Would request a continuance of this. I've been in discussions with the state about a counteroffer. They informed me this morning they are not in a position to offer what we're asking. I do expect a resolution this coming cycle.
Okay. We'll continue until 8/12, August 12th at 9 a.m.
And I believe that's all I have.
Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Niddle, you want to jump in?
Yes, Judge, I have zero rights, because he also has legal
I have Mr. Roger, 23 CF 321.
Okay.
Yeah, my case number is 23 CF 2115, Judge.
We just need him to sign his plea forms when he comes in, we have one over the, I will go over his rights with him on both cases.
I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Let me find. I had to find these first. I wasn't paying attention. Say that again.
We have, I did go over with his rights on both of his cases, on the charges he's playing to, the case of Mr. Miller, the case that I have, he understands rights he's giving up. I read everything to him.
So we're doing it on one plea
Two
form?
different plea forms, I'm sorry.
What's that?
Two different plea forms.
Okay. But I'll ask him at the same time.
Yes,
So we
sir.
can cover
I
it.
went through everything with him.
Sure.
Yeah, that's just, he was a juvenile when he was arrested, Judge, so I'm
So we
having
got another addendum on one of them.
to sign
Right.
an addendum.
They're pleased with Mr. Miller.
Okay. So these are all pleas to misdemeanors?
Correct.
Okay. The state's in agreement with this, obviously.
Yes, Your Honor.
I got both plea forms.
Okay. Thank you.
Your Honor, in 23 CF 321.
I'm going to ask you the same question I asked before, and maybe you can have the answers. You're so experienced, Ms. Dudley. On these misdemeanor plea forms, I always had a place for me to sign, and I
Well,
don't.
Your Honor, this is not an abstention.
If it's a plea extension, then yes.
There you go. I
So
knew
we
you.
just found out today, so.
I knew you'd have the answer, Ms.
We can just
Dudley.
hand it to you and we can be gone. We don't have that, so we have to announce it, Your Honor.
Okay, very good.
So in 23 CF 321, he will be entering the plea to the orally amended information to count 4. That information they're going to file on a hard copy. He will be to count 4 as a trespass.
Okay.
Counts 1 through 3 will be dismissed. He will be given time served, adjudication of guilt, 270 in court costs, and 90 days to pay those costs before they go to judgment.
Okay. Mr. Niddle.
And 2115, count 1 will be dismissed. You'll plead to the 2 misdemeanors, counts 2 and 3, possession of marijuana, possession of paraphernalia. You'll get credit for time served, 283 days, and court costs.
Okay. Certainly, the court will accept this plea agreement. This is a downward departure?
It's misdemeanor, so.
It's misdemeanor.
It's not admitted, that's right. So, Mr. Wright, good plea agreement for you. Take it as for what it is. And get this thing straight. You're no longer a juvenile. You're not going to treat you with kid gloves anymore. Do this thing right. Take advantage of this right here, which is a gift, and be right. Okay, you got a lot of life in front of you. You don't need to be spending it with a orange jumpsuit. Okay, good luck.
Thank you. That's a new friend.
think, is that your only one, Ms. Dudley?
I have Ms. Johnson,
I
and
don't
Julie
know
Johnson.
if DJJ has a hold on your lot.
No, you shouldn't get it.
You have Johnson?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Your Honor, this is Ms. Johnson in 23 CF 1991 and 15 CF 2330. We were left today just for a status. I've been discussing some options with the state. I think you have a miscellaneous on the 11th, I believe, July 11th, is that correct? I think that's the right date, I'm not sure.
We do.
Can I add her to that for a status at 9 o'clock? I don't want to continue too far if we can get it worked out.
The state would agree with that. We're nearing a resolution in this case.
Okay. We'll continue this till July 11th, 9 a.m. What are our numbers for the 16th and the 11th?
Your Honor, that's all I have, thank you.
Thank you, you have a nice day.
July 11th, 31 in the morning, and the 16th, 11 on the 16th.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Mr. Flowers. Does Mr. Flowers step out?
I have seen him.
I know, he's been here, I've seen him. We'll skip over and we'll bring him back. Second, Mr. Keach?
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
For the record, Jeremy Keach. Two cases that should be on your docket. One was added, I believe, Friday, which would have been Mr. Flores, 22 CF 1539.
I've got that, yeah.
And that's, all that simply is on the back of my docket for is, I believe, a correction in the statute number. There may have been a scrivener's error that created some confusion.
We just have to put it on the record?
Correct. In 22 CF 1539, the lesser included offense of trafficking methamphetamine.
Yes, Your Honor. If the court was aware, remembers it was Mr. Nopes and myself standing for Mr. Flores. We had the plea agreement worked out. The state then, I think, was trying because of 3-year minimum, which was the offer, and said that should be the 4 to 14 grams. We went back and read the statute. Actually, it's not. It's 14 to 28 grams is the 3-year minimum, which is what was reflected on the plea agreement. So essentially, the plea agreement is correct. We just need to unscribble the part that was scribbled out.
And to clarify, Judge, the court will likely recall last week I was writing on the weights and all the attorneys signed off on it. The state looked at the wrong year, and then the min-man changes when you look at 2022 versus 2023. The state was looking at the 2023 statute, trying to make everything work, and the state wrote in the wrong weight. So this is on me, but we are here to correct that.
And just to perfect the record, the correct statute number is 893.135, subsection 1, subsection F, subsection 1, subsection A.
Madam Clerk, did you get that?
Yes, sir.
You're very good.
Thank you. And that should
be able to write it down that fast. Okay.
That's everything correct.
Well, I appreciate you all getting that. I know that the devil's in the details on these statutory sites, and we want to try and get them right.
Yes,
So we appreciate it.
Mr. Flores get to prison and then do 7 or something.
That's right. That was not the intent.
I agree. Okay.
And then also on your docket, it's going to be State of Florida versus Philip Lee, as he's being brought out. And with respect to Mr. Lee's case, Your Honor, the case was set for today so the state could have an opportunity to speak with their supervisors regarding this case. I don't think I had adequate time.
Can we approach Judge?
Yeah.
Sure.
For years, I proudly served Florida as a state trooper. During that time, I investigated over 1,000 car, motorcycle, and trucking crashes. My mission was simple: to help the victims. Now, as an injury attorney, I can do even more to help accident victims. Hi, I'm attorney Coy Browning. If you've been injured in a car accident, I'd be honored to help you.
continue this matter until August 14th at 9 a.m. I think that's all you got, Mr. Peach.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Flowers.
Thank you, Judge.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Judge, need the edge. Your Honor, we're prepared to enter a plea in this matter. There are several case numbers, and I can recite the agreement or hand it to you, whichever the court might prefer.
If you've only got one, go ahead and recite it yourself,
Yes,
and then you can give it to me. If you got two, I'll look at it while you're.
I apologize. I've
That's
got
all
the
right.
one.
Go ahead.
There's a new case number 2023 CF 1603, and in that matter, he's entering a plea as follows to count one, which is a DUI, 11 months, 29 days probation, $500 fine, $476 in costs, 50 hours community service work, complete DUI school and victim impact panel, license suspension for a period of 6 months, 10 days vehicle impound, and he may obtain a hardship license. Count two is dismissed. Your Honor, there are other cases in another division, misdemeanor cases, that are being dismissed pursuant to negotiations in this case, and that's the totality of, and he'll be adjudicated, that's the totality of the agreement.
But is that a part, I know it's a universal, but is it written there? I mean, do I have to announce the
Judge,
misdemeanor dismissals?
Judge, I can announce them. It's
Okay.
reflected in the agreement.
Sure.
And the case numbers are 2023 TR 8423, 8424, and 2024 MM 1226. And in that, the state is dismissing all cases and counts, and that's reflected in the plea agreement, Your Honor.
Okay,
That's correct, Your Honor.
thank you. This is a very, very technical question. It's a little bit unclear on my docket. I just want to make sure we get the counts correct. I have count two being the DUI, not count one. I just want to confirm but it's a little bit unclear on mine.
So, Your Honor,
So is it count one or count two? I just want to make sure we.
One is being possession.
Yes.
Yes, okay, so Your Honor, the possession is being dismissed. I have that as count one, and the DUI is being dismissed as that's count two. He is pleading to the DUI. The state is dismissing the possession of a controlled substance.
Okay.
Or possession of a counterfeit drug.
So you want me to switch these counts?
If you would, Judge.
Yeah. That's fine. I just wanted, I didn't want some typographical error to mess things up. Okay, Mr. Edge, would you raise your right hand, sir? Do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you heard your attorney state the terms of your plea agreement, and I see those same terms are contained in the written plea agreement as well. And just want to make sure you've gone over this with your attorney. Obviously, this is a favorable plea agreement, I understand. I just want to make sure you've had all your legal questions answered, and you're entering this freely and voluntarily.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you do understand that you're waiving the right to go to trial, force the state to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. You believe
Yes,
this
sir.
is better for you? Okay. Based upon that testimony, the court will accept your plea. As to count one, the state, which is a possession of a counterfeit driver's license, the state is dismissing that. No contest, not no contest. They're dismissing this no process. Count one. Count two is the DUI. That's the main sentencing here today. You're sentenced to 11 months, 29 days probation, plus the standard fine and court costs that are contained in here, 50 hours of community service. You may buy them out by the statutory rate. You also have to do the DUI school, victim impact panel, and then 6 months driver's license suspension, 10 months vehicle impound. And defendant, you may obtain a hardship license. You can apply. Count two is being dismissed, and then you have the 3 counts that were cited by your attorney. There are misdemeanors that are all being dismissed. Okay. Any questions? Yes, sir.
If I might, Judge.
Yes, sir.
Inadvertently, I think the court said 10 months impound. It's 10 days.
It's 10 days, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
10 days.
Thank you, Judge. That's
Thank
all
you.
I have.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
This way, sir.
Mr. Harsher.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Dustin Harsher on behalf of Christopher Gardner. I do believe he is present and approaching, Your Honor. This is 23 CF 107. I'm covering this case for Attorney Tony Henderson this morning. I believe we need to send over some alibi information to the to the state, and the state is also waiting to speak with the victims on a PTI offer they need to send over, and Mr. Henderson needs to discuss with Mr. Gardner. So we'd be asking to continue this.
Full cycle. Court will continue this till 8/12, August 12th at 9 a.m.
I'm also covering one case for Chris Crawford this morning, Your Honor.
Okay.
That's Nathaniel Gray.
Very good.
22 CF 925. I spoke with one of his assistants. She said that she had filed a notice of taking depositions and a motion to continue while I was on my way over here this morning, Your Honor. So I'd be asking to continue that case as well.
State?
That's fine, Judge. We're working closely to get these last 2 depositions done, so this will be ready for trial soon.
Very good. Court will continue this matter till 8/12. And would this be the last continuance?
Well, Judge,
you're over 2 years into this case on an ag battery.
Yes, Judge. This is the case that, may we approach?
Sure. We'll do a straight up continuance. Appreciate you clarifying.
I believe that's all I have, Judge.
Thank you very much. Mr. Cobb.
Yes, sir. Mr. Vera Carroll. Judge Jason Cobb on behalf of Barry Gassman. He has 2 remaining cases present on the court's docket. I've spoken to the state, and we're asking that it be put on the 8/12 docket for a last continuance. And part of the reasons is I just got finished getting one son married, and I have a daughter that's getting married in July, and I'll be in Utah for a good portion of the latter part of July. And I talked to the state about it, and it seems like the 8/14 docket, I believe, is the docket that it would go on. And we'll be ready to resolve it that cycle for sure.
Okay, so we'll continue this matter till 8/14, and we'll have the clerk note in the minutes it'll be the last.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good luck, and you have a good wedding.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
That's all you got. Okay, we have one out of custody that has no attorney, Mr. Cuellar.
Yes, Your Honor. He's in the...
Come forward, sir.
Your Honor, that's 23 CF 1696. And Your Honor, the state has the body-worn camera on discovery and an amended discovery exhibit that is handed to Mr. Cuellar. And I did want to put on record, Your Honor, and I do think we need to do the Faretta hearing today with Mr. Cuellar. He is stating that he still wishes to go to trial. The state wanted to put on record that the offer that had been previously made to him is going to remain open until jury review. He stated to me that that's not enough time for him to consider it, and he still wants to go to trial, but I still think it's prudent for me to put it on record so that he understands that the state's offer in 23 CF 1696 is an adjudication on count 1, an adjudication of guilt on count 2, 6 months probation concurrent, no trespass at the apartment where this occurred. If you give me just a second, I'll get to that specific. A substance abuse evaluation and new treatment, Your Honor. No drugs not prescribed on probation, random urinalysis, and the misdemeanor court cost. Your Honor, Mr. Cuellar had stated to me that he is fighting count 1. He said specifically count 2 is easy, and he wasn't that worried about it. I did stress to him, or tried to stress to him, that this is a global resolution, and it does in fact matter that, you know, there are 2 counts. So there's not just 1 count that we're fighting over. We'd be going to trial on both counts. I did stress that to him, and that this offer would take care of both of the charges that he has in this one case. Your Honor, he's stated to the state that he's not going to take that, and he wants to proceed to trial. So I think at this point, the state will leave that 6-month probation and adjudication offer open until Thursday, so that he may consider it if he wishes to, or else the state. My subs are out, Your Honor, and I'm ready to proceed to trial, and I've gotten his email so that when I send Your Honor the jury instructions, he is copied on that email.
Okay, just one question. Mr. Cuellar, I'm going to swear you in just a second and ask you some questions.
Okay.
But what is the, based on the charges that will be proceeding to trial, what are the maximum sentences for those?
Your Honor, so if he gets convicted of count 1, the maximum sentence on that is 5 years. The maximum sentence on count 2 is 1 year in the Okaloosa County Jail.
Okay.
So 6 years.
So 6 years total, and the state's offer is
6 months of probation.
6 months probation for each count.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Running concurrent?
Yes, running concurrent.
Okay. And that's, would you raise your right hand, sir? Do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I'm sure you were aware of what I just asked her, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So you heard, Del, we're proceeding to trial, which means we'll come back on jury review on Thursday to go over some procedural issues, kind of preparing for trial.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that offer will stay open until then.
Yes, Your
So,
Okay.
but right now you're aware of that. You're at risk for a 6-year prison sentence versus 6 months probation, and you're not wanting to take that offer, right?
No.
Okay. So there's something called a Faretta hearing, and then basically I'm required to ask you some questions to make sure that you understand that kind of what you're up against, okay? And to let you understand the position of the court. Court's in a unique position when dealing with a unrepresented defendant. And the reason for that is that in your case, and I'll ask you a question, I mean, have you been trained on the rules of evidence?
I've been involved in some trials, yes.
Or have you been trained?
Not
You think because you've been in trials, you know about the rules of evidence?
Well, I would have to say no.
Okay. Have you been trained in the rules of criminal procedure?
not gone to law
Okay.
school.
And in those situations, that's the framework upon which we have to operate, the rules that we have to operate to have a criminal trial, okay? And in those situations, the state obviously is trained in those things, the defendant is not, and, but I'm in a peculiar situation because I'm supposed to have a fair trial, but I can't help you.
I got it.
I can't suggest or guide you in any way.
Right, I understand.
So it's kind of like going into I hate to use a violent term, so kind of like going into a knife fight with one hand tied behind your back. Maybe the better analogy would be two hands tied behind your back. Okay?
Yes, sir.
But you're wanting to proceed forward looking at a 6-year prison term.
Yes.
Without knowing any of the rules of procedure or the rules of criminal of evidence going into this trial.
The only thing that I do know is that there is a burden of proof, and I know there is no proof. That there is none. So I'm not worried about a jury trial. I already know that. I'm not 100%.
Okay. Do you have?
I don't even. You can pick the juries. That's how confident I am. I don't even care about striking juries. I'd let it go. I'm that confident.
So, and that's another question I have. Do you know how
I've been
about picking juries? You understand there's certain rules of that? You know those rules?
I have served on 3 juries. I know how the process works. Yes.
Okay. And you understand that, you know, in lead up to the preparation as far as, are you intending at this point to call witnesses?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. And you know how to subpoena them, how to get them into court?
I've researched and I've contacted some friends of mine in the law field that are attorneys, and I'm believing that that's going to be easy to do.
Okay.
They'll instruct me on how to file the paperwork with the clerk courts and so on, yes.
Well,
but I'm definitely.
What you're saying draws into question when you continually use the term easy and straightforward.
I mean,
that all right there shows me.
Yeah.
You've never tried a case before.
I've been told there's no such thing as a slam dunk, and I agree. I understand that, but I also know my side of the fence, and I'm definitely ready to go to trial.
Well, you're going to have a right to.
Okay.
How long do you anticipate this will be a one-day trial?
It'll be a one-day, Your Honor. The state will also has a motion limiting written that will be filed prior to Thursday, Your Honor. And the state, just so Mr. Cuellar is aware, has not received a reciprocal discovery exhibit from the defendant.
What would a reciprocal discovery? Okay. That would be my photographs and things like that. I can get that for her. That's not a problem.
She's just letting you know that something hasn't happened, kind of.
Yeah, that she'll need official discovery from anything that I have as far as evidence, just like required by the prosecutor to give to me. I get it.
Okay. Very good. So we'll come back on jury review, which will be 9 o'clock on Thursday.
This Thursday.
And that'll prepare, and next week one of our days, we'll pick the day on Thursday of what day we'll go to trial the following week. One of those days we'll go, and we don't know what it is because.
Can I be clear? So we'll be picking a jury on Thursday?
No, sir.
Okay.
On Thursday we have what's called jury review. It's kind of to prepare for, we're not going to pick a jury that day.
Yes, sir.
We are going to choose what day, though, we're going to have the trial. And on that day, starting at 8:30 or 9 o'clock, the jury will come in a little bit. We'll come in a little before the jury, but the jury will come in, pick a jury, and go right to trial. So it'll be pick and go. So we'll pick a jury, proceed to trial, conclude the trial in one day.
So would that be, I mean, I know you didn't say when, would that be
Be one day the following week, we'll pick it on, you'll know for sure on Thursday, because we got other trials going on that day. So that's one of the reasons why we'll.
So realistically, this will be within the next 2 weeks, we're going to trial?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Not within the next 2 weeks, next week we're going to trial.
Okay.
Have jury review Thursday, one day the following week, one of those 5 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. One of those days, we're gonna have your trial. Pick a jury in the morning, proceed to trial, conclude the trial.
Okay.
One day.
I got it.
Okay.
Understood.
Okay, any questions?
Okay.
See you Thursday morning.
All right, thanks.
Okay. Mr. Harper?
I believe he's also in.
Mr. Patel, are you?
There he is.
I just need a couple of minutes, Judge.
Okay, that's all right, take your time.
Judge, I think you don't mind, I can speak.
Okay.
Judge, if I could start with, is Thomas Brundage here? He's President approaching. I believe it states, he's before the courts on 23 CF 2614. I believe the state has an announcement.
Your Honor, the state filed a null pros this morning in this case, and the state is in compliance with Marcy's law. We've made multiple attempts to reach out to both victims and have not heard back from them.
Very good, the court will accept the null pros. You are free to go.
Next case I have, Judge, is Vera Carroll, number 31 on the docket before the court on 23 CF 299. Judge, Ms. Carroll is before the courts on 23 CF 299. At this time, she's going to withdraw her previously entered plea and enter a plea of no contest. If I may have just a moment, Judge, I believe the state added some terms. Judge, at this time, she'll be withdrawing her previously entered plea, enter a plea of no contest, meaning adjudication of guilt, 2 years of probation, should be assessed $615 in court costs, $150 cost of defense, undergo a substance abuse evaluation and any recommended treatment, evaluation to occur within 30 days, treatment to commence within 60. There'll be no drugs not prescribed, and have random urinalysis at least once a month. Judge, I just wanted to let the court as well as probation know that Ms. Carroll is a resident of Georgia. She anticipates having her probation transferred to Georgia. She will comply with all the paperwork necessary to do that, but she currently resides there, and she is advised that she will have to check into probation today upon the completion of court. If I may approach?
You may. And just to take that just a step further, that even though your attorney is announcing this, that we don't do anything, the court is not involved in any way in the transfer. All we're doing is we're sentencing the probation. It's up to a state agency, so we're separation of power, so we don't have anything to do with that. So just want to let you know that you've got to work with them, and they regularly transfer these things, but there's a procedure, it's their procedure, and they always charge you $100 too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, remind you. Okay, is the state okay with this?
Yes, Your Honor, I've got the safe screen.
Okay. So, Ms. Carroll, would you please raise your right hand? You swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you good with the score sheet, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes,
Okay. So, Ms. Carroll, you heard your attorney state the terms of the plea agreement, and I see those terms are, and actually, once in a while, We actually get it. I think she signed where the attorney's supposed to sign and her signature is on blank. That's all right, we'll get it, just scratch it out. I always look at it, you know, and okay, about once a day, once every docket, we find one that. No, that's all right. If that's the worst thing that happens to you today, counsel, it'll be a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so now you signed the plea agreement, and I just want to make sure, have you read it closely and gone over it in detail with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand that by entering this plea agreement, importantly, you're waiving the right, several valuable legal rights. The main one is the right to go to a trial.
Yep.
Force the state to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. You're waiving all that so you can have a final resolution of your case.
Yes.
Are you doing so freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you've done this having had all your legal questions answered by your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, based upon that testimony, the court will accept your plea. There'll be an adjudication of guilt, and the court will sentence you to 2 years probation, court cost and cost of defense. As a condition of the probation, you must submit to a substance abuse evaluation within 30 days and commence treatment if any is recommended within 60. Of course, no drugs not prescribed, random UAs at least once a month. And there will be an adjudication of guilt on this. Okay, any questions? Good, thank you.
The next set of custody I have, Judge, is Tremont Coward, number 32 on the docket. He is present before the court on 20 CF 2490, 20 CF 2999, and 23 CF 52. Judge, we left this matter left set for plea or trial. If we can bring him back on jury review, I think that the state will probably be electing to proceed forward on the violation of probation.
That's correct.
Logistically, I don't know if that case will move to a different week or something, but just.
Maybe, maybe not.
Yes, sir.
So we'll see on Thursday. So we'll continue this until June 20th, and it'll be we'll still continue at a plea or trial.
The next case that I have, Judge, if I can pass Brianna Dixon, as well as pass Jonathan Dodson, and go to Sherry Dorgan, number 35 on the docket. There's a waiver of appearance in her case, 22 CF 2280. Judge, this is also, we're going to leave set for trial, but I think there's a high probability we'll get a resolution on this.
So we'll come back on June 20th again?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so for pretrial, jury review.
Judge, if I can-
Mr. Harper, can you just have the one, are you ready to go?
I am, Judge.
Can you let Mr. Patel just, because he's just got one case. And then we'll do the, how many cases do you have?
Just one with Mr. Medina.
With-
It's an inmate, Judge, and we need to talk to the inmate.
You still need to talk to him?
Yes, and
Okay.
as soon as I press.
Whenever you are ready to go with the interpreter, wave at me and we'll make sure and get you to the front of the line.
Will not be long, I just gotta go.
It's all right, just let me know, Mr. Patel.
Judge, if I can approach and grab that old plea form.
You may. You were gave.
The one that-
Oh, this one. Sorry. I have to keep track of all these cases, a little confusing sometimes.
Let's do this again, Judge.
Okay, let's do this again.
Good morning, Judge. Jay Patel on behalf of Kenneth Gerard, 22 CF 3013. At this time, he's going to withdraw his previously entered plea of not guilty and tender a plea of no contest. The understanding is that he will plead to count 3 only. Counts 1 and 2 shall be null pros by the state. The understanding is that it will be 11 months and 29 days of probation, supervised by JCS. $50 hours of community service work that he may buy out. Fines and court costs as required by statute and county ordinance. May I approach?
You may. Thank you. Is the state in agreement?
That's correct, Judge.
Do you want to put down the fines required?
I wasn't sure what it is for that charge.
270. Okay.
We have no objection to the court writing that in.
Okay, 270. Okay, Mr. Gerard, would you raise your right hand again? Do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
So your attorney just handed me a plea and sentencing agreement that has your signature on it, and he was reading the terms of the plea agreement. So just want to make sure, have you read this closely and gone over it in detail with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand that by entering this plea agreement, importantly, you're waiving the right to go to a trial, force the state to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. This will be a final resolution of your case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you entering so freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you have any further legal questions about this plea agreement?
No, I do not.
Okay. Based upon that testimony, the court will accept your plea. The state is dismissing counts 1 and 2, correct?
That's correct.
And defendant pleads no contest to count 3 only. And the court it'll be an adjudication of guilt. The court will sentence the defendant to 11 months, 29 days probation, 50 hours community service, which you may buy out. The court costs are $270. Are there any fines? Okay, no fines. And JCS supervision. Okay, any questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Harper, when you're ready, we reconvene.
Can I recall Candace Felton? She is number 36 on the docket.
Okay.
She's before the courts on 23 CF 1688. Judge, I've conveyed to her what the offer is from the state. I think that she is considering taking this. She just wants to talk to her husband about the ramifications. If I can set this for a miscellaneous court date, I anticipate a resolution on that date.
We'll continue this until July 16th at 9 a.m.
July 16th. Okay. The next case I have is D.B. Figueroa. Judge, I haven't seen you this morning. If I can pass his case. The next case would be Dennis Foster. He is present. Mr. Foster, you can stay there. He's got a walker. Judge, we're leaving this case set for plea or trial. If we can bring him back on Thursday, June the 20th. This was a case that was set for trial last cycle. And I think that we're going to leave it set for this cycle, but can I approach just to explain the mitigating issue?
Sure.
Hi, I'm Wanda Roberts. For the last 20 years, I've been helping the residents of Northwest Florida buy and sell their properties. My office is just 1 block south of the courthouse in historic downtown Crestview. Give us a call at 850-398-5389.
Hi, I'm Michael Gilbert, defense attorney with Warrior Law. I represent those accused in Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, and Walton County. If you or anyone you know has been accused of a crime, give us a call. We can help.
The Cottage Formalware, located at 648 North Wilson Street, has all your needs for looking your best. We have homecoming, prom, and pageant dresses. We have tux rental suits, vests, ties, Need something casual? We have that too. Shop Hometown First and visit us on Facebook.
June 20th, which is this Thursday, okay? Keep in contact with me, please.
Okay.
The next out of custody that I have, Judge, I'm going to skip Terry and Grant. His mother has been in contact with me. They're on their way. They had a car issue. If I can call Erica Gray. She is number 42 on the docket before the court on 24 CF 200. Judge, I conveyed the state's counteroffer. Ms. Gray has a couple of questions about it, and I think we can get this resolved on the next miscellaneous dates. I think we'll get closed on.
We'll continue this till 7:16 at 9 a.m.
The next case that I have, Judge, is Wendy Green. She is present and approaching. Judge, Ms. Green, I went over the state's agreements, their counteroffer. There was a PTI. I think Ms. Green at this time is not inclined to accept that. If I can move this to the next miscellaneous, actually, if I can just do a full cycle, please.
So we'll continue until 8:12 at 9 a.m.
The next one that's out of custody, Judge, that I've spoken to is Jason Hildebrand here. If I can pass Mr. Hildebrand's case, Judge. I think that's all I have to call, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Gates, you want to do some, or Ms. Farkas, you want to do some out of custodies? Ms. Farkas, you fire away.
I have only one out of custody client who is present. I have a couple who I've filed waivers for. So
Okay.
I'll start with Vera Carroll.
Okay.
CARILLO, 2023 CF 2051. I filed a waiver for Mr. Carrillo. We were hoping to resolve the case today. I filed reciprocal discovery March 27th. At the 4/8 court date, this state attorney said that they needed to speak further with the alleged victim. And then when I spoke with the state attorney on Friday, they said the same thing. So at this point,
So where are we at with that? It's 2 months? At some point, if you can't, if you're not, assuming you're not able to contact them, don't they waive? Can you proceed?
Well, Your Honor, so when I spoke with them after I got that, he was going to, it's complicated, Judge. He was going to get me some documents. I've not received those yet, and when I was reminded on Friday about that, I tried calling and didn't get any answer, so I'm still requesting a little more time to get in contact with him about that. It will be dispositive of the most serious charge, Your Honor, so.
if we could have the next miscellaneous date in July, I think we could resolve it.
We're filling up our miscellaneous dockets. You need to, you think there's going to, do we anticipate a resolution?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. We could put it on in August if you'd like. My client is out of custody, so.
Continue until August 12th.
I have Jeffrey Collins. He is present and approaching. 2023 CF 1457. The state and the defense have reached an agreement in this case. I have the signed agreement, if I may approach.
Please. Thank you. Would you announce the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. There is one count in this case, 2023 CF 1457. Mr. Collins will be taking adjudication of guilt to the lesser included offense of misdemeanor petty theft, 1 year standard probation with JCS, so misdemeanor probation. Misdemeanor court costs of $270, $150 public defender fee, 50 hours community service, no trespassing at the Burger King on 302 Racetrack Road, Fort Walton Beach, maintain gainful employment or 3 applications per week, complete the anti-theft class, no drugs or firearms during supervision and random UAs, restitution in the amount of $1,426.55 to the Burger King on Racetrack Road.
What is the statutory cite for the lesser included? The clerk needs that, and it needs to be in the
I apologize.
agreement. Here you go.
It's going to be 812 14.
Thank you.
Okay, so Your Honor, there is a slight change. It's the first degree misdemeanor, petty theft, and the statute is included there.
Okay.
The rest of the terms are the same, the 1-year misdemeanor probation.
Okay. Mr. Collins, would you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
State in agreement.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do we have a score sheet?
It's a misdemeanor, Your Honor.
That's a misdemeanor, that's right. Okay, so, Mr. Collins, you heard your attorney state the terms of the plea agreement. I see those terms are in the written plea agreement, and you've signed it, so just want to make sure, have you read this closely and gone over it in detail with your attorney? Make sure you had all your legal questions answered.
Yes, Judge.
You understand that by entering this, you're waiving some valuable legal rights. The right to go to a trial, force the state to prove their case beyond a reason. Waiving all those to get a final resolution today. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, Judge.
You believe this is in your best interest?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, and you have had all your legal questions answered?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Based upon that, the court will accept your plea, and the court will accept an adjudication of guilt to the lesser included offense of misdemeanor petty theft and the statutory cites in the agreement. And the court will sentence you here today to 1 year standard probation with JCS, misdemeanor court costs, public defender fees, 50 hours of community service, no trespassing at the Burger King on Racetrack Road, gainful employment or 3 applications a week, anti-theft class, obviously no drugs or firearms during supervision, random UAs, restitution in the amount of $1426.55 to Burger King. So that's a big amount. It's due, you got a year to do it.
Yeah.
But don't wait till the end, because then they're going to end up violating you because you haven't paid the restitution, okay? So you know how you can eat an elephant, one bite at a time. So take a little bit each month, divide this thing up into 12 parts, then it's $100 a month, and you might a lot easier, okay?
Okay.
Okay, any questions? Okay, there you go. Thank you.
Your Honor, those are my present out of custody clients.
Okay, Mr. Gates, you got a few?
Yes, Your Honor, I have a few if you take. I'll start with Kevin Hackstrom, Your Honor.
Okay.
This is going to be Kevin Hackstrom before the court in 24 CF 1801. I have a plea agreement to be filed. I would like to initiate your meeting. Thank you. Can I make a first one?
You may.
You said you provide this worksheet. It's not going to be a number of departure for plea today.
Thank you. Would you announce the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Hackstrom will be entering a plea as charged. Will be adjudicated guilty, sentenced to 10 days in the county jail. With credit call time served, the state has agreed that he's already served the 10 days jail and does not need to go back to jail. He'll be placed on 12 months of probation, waive costs of supervision, court costs, public defender fee.
State?
That is the state's agreement, Your Honor.
Very good. Mr. Hagstrom, would you raise your right hand, sir? Do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
So you heard your attorney state the terms of the plea agreement. I see those terms are in writing in your written plea agreement that you've signed. Just want to make sure, have you read this closely, gone over it in detail with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Had all your legal questions answered?
Yes, sir.
And you believe this is in your best interest here today?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Importantly, you're waiving some valuable legal rights. You heard me say it all day, all morning long.
Yes, sir.
Right to go to a trial, force the state to prove their case. You're waiving that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Based upon that testimony, the court will accept your plea. The court, there'll be an adjudication of guilt as charged. Sentence you to here today to 10 days in the county jail with credit for all time served. And it's noted that you've already served it. And you'll be then, after that, you're followed, which is what essentially your plea agreement is today, followed by 12 months of probation. That's starting today. Waive the cost of supervision on this probation, $515 in court costs, $150 public defender.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
Your Honor, next I've got is going to be Antoine Hill. Your Honor, Mr. Hill is making his way up on 23 CF 1550. We have a plea agreement to be filed on the approach now.
You may.
I do not have a score sheet, Your Honor, but the score sheet to stay filed reflects about 30.8 points, so this will not be a number of questions.
Would you announce the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Hill will be entering a plea of no contest as charged in counts 1, 2, and 3. It's going to be withhold of adjudication, counts 1 and 2, replacing 48 months of probation concurrent with each other and any other current probation sentence. Mr. Hill is on probation out of the state of Alabama. Waive cost of supervision, count 3, which is a misdemeanor count, 11 months, 29 days of probation, again concurrent with each count and with any other probation sentence. Standard court costs, public defender fee, forfeit the firearm, required to do a substance abuse evaluation in 30 days, recommended treatment in 60 days, random hair analysis, and an anti-theft course which can be completed online.
State?
That's correct, Judge, and we've spoken with the victim, and the victim is in agreement. The victim's only request was that the firearm be returned to him.
Okay. Mr. Hill, would you please raise your right hand, sir? Do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How old are you, Mr. Hill?
25.
25. Okay, so you heard, you can put your hand down. You heard your attorney state the terms of the plea agreement, and I see that those same terms are contained in a written plea agreement and that you signed. So I just want to make sure, have you read this closely and gone over it in detail with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
You understand that by entering into this plea, you're waiving the right to go to a trial and some other valuable legal rights in order to get a final resolution of this case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you are entering this freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Based upon that, the court will accept your plea agreement here today. There'll be a withhold of adjudication. One thing I'm going to say is that you've got And of course, sentencing you on counts 1 and 2 to 48 months probation. That's a long probation, okay? And the reason why I say that, that's great, we get this, there's no jail time, everyone's happy, this ain't the end, this is the beginning. You need to pay attention to this probation, stay in good touch with your probation officer. One of the things that's most disheartening, people here try and get their clients probation, all that, and almost half come back, okay? I'm just telling you that to tell you that you got to pay attention to this stuff. You got to pay attention, stay in good touch with your probation officer, or else you come back and they'll be looking for prison term. You still have a heavy, the max on your count 1 is 15 years. So you're not getting any probation. That's the maximum count. You're not being sentenced to that. But that's still hanging over your head, so you got to make sure, pay attention to this probation, what I'm telling you, okay?
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, and you have 30 days to appeal this if you want to.
It's a withhold. No. Your Honor, the next one I've got is going to be Nisa Henderson, Your Honor. Ms. Henderson's making her way up in 23 CF 2746. Your Honor, we left her as a status. I hope we could try and resolve some of the issues with the PTI. After speaking with the state this morning, we're going to continue Ms. Henderson's case to August 12th. That'll give me time to see with Ms. Bosso about the specifics, and then if we can get it resolved, I will move Ms. Henderson up.
Very good. We'll continue this till 8:12 at 9 a.m.
And another one I have that I didn't file a waiver for, Your Honor, is Vera Jones. I don't see Mr. Jones present.
That was a waiver, you said?
It was not a waiver, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll just carry that over and maybe he'll show up.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's Mr. Medina. I assume the rest of these are Mr. Medina's. You want to take a break now, and then we'll come on. We'll take a morning break. We'll come back and kind of maybe run down Mr. Medina and figure out. So we'll try and get everybody who's here for a hearing, and when we come back on break, we'll get them done as quickly as we can, get them done before the noon hour break.
Your Honor, Mr. Losco and I did have a housekeeping matter that we wanted to address
Sure.
the court with, if we could approach.
You may.